Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kayfabe Central of Predict the Bell. We are back with a combined episode, and this time I am not alone. I am joined by Rue on wrestling. How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's good, man. Thank you for having me on. It's also a privilege to be here.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I got kind of tired of doing these alone, right? Like it's just like 30
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
of just me talking alone. So I was like, and then I saw you on TikTok. I was like, oh yeah, man, this guy sounds like he belongs on a podcast. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I've had a couple of people saying that, like, oh, we love the dulcet Scottish tones. I'm like, I'll
yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah, 100%. Um,
That's
so
it.
just a warning. I should have warned you about this before we started, but my dog likes to make a whole lot of noise during these
Oh,
podcasts. Um, it's just become a theme on the channel where he just
I love it.
interrupts consistently. Like as of right now, he's just chucking a teddy bear around the room. So
He can become part of the podcast. It's fine.
yeah. Um, so yeah, we're here with our Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank predictions, which both not really big cards. I know Money in the Bank has like four matches, I believe,
Yeah, I
and
think you're
Worlds
right.
Collide is one, two, three, four, five matches.
Quick
Um,
shot.
so yeah, not big cards. We are gonna start with the Worlds Collide, but before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcast interviews that come to the channel. Check out Rule on Wrestling's TikTok. He's got some great videos on his TikTok as well. Is there anything else that you have that you want to plug?
At the minute, it's just TikTok. I need to expand more on to following your
Oh, okay.
footsteps. But the minute it's just TikTok, we're on wrestling. You can follow me there.
Okay, sounds good. Um, yeah, and go subscribe to the Ko-Fi page. I upload exclusive content there as much as I can. There's been a whole lot of wrestling, so I haven't had much time to be consistent on there, but I will try to be more consistent on the Ko-Fi page. So go ahead and subscribe to that. I just uploaded my Fantasy WrestleMania 42 card on the Ko-Fi page. So go ahead and check that out. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, uh, the WWE shop link. If you guys plan on buying anything from WWE shop, go ahead and use my WWE shop link as well. It just helps me out.
But nice one.
So yeah, we are just going to get straight into it. So I don't even know what to start with here. I guess we can start with the six-man tag team match. Legado del Fantasma, Santos, Angel, and Berto versus I'm gonna botch some of these names probably because I don't know who these people are. Um El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Paragon, and Psycho Clown.
Yeah, there we go. I'm the exact same. I have them open, ready to go because I would butcher all of these names.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um
it should be quite a good match. This one, I'm quite excited to kind of see what Legado can do. They've kind of recently been getting quite a lot of time on TV on SmackDown, and I think the crowd are starting to kind of get behind them a bit more.
yeah, definitely. Um in terms of who's gonna win this match, I think I'm gonna go with the AAA guys here. Uh just
I
because
agree.
just because there's been a lot of like they've been really selling the tension between Legato on TV the past couple weeks.
Yep.
Um, so I'm assuming I wouldn't say it's going to completely implode here, but it's going to play a part.
Yep, I think you're totally on the right lines, and especially with this World Collide event, it'll be interesting to see what route WWE take with obviously with being a partnership. Um, they can't just have the WWE guys steamroll all of the AAA guys. And this is one where I totally agree with you. I think the AAA guys are going to get a win here. From what I've gathered, I think Dr. Wagner Jr. is quite big. I really don't know too much of him on AAA, To be truly honest, I've no. He seems like I've heard of his name before, and if I've heard of him, I've gone, okay. I think he must be somewhat of a bigger deal. So I
Yeah.
think definitely, I think all these guys and kind of what you said, kind of continue that story of the implosion of Legado there, and probably it seems like Berto's gonna maybe shoot off.
Yeah, I don't know. And even if like this implodes, what happens to Legado? Like the Santos just go on his own and Angel joins Berto. I don't
Yeah,
know the direction they're gonna take if they split this group up because this is like, in my opinion, the most TV time and just the most exposure Angel and Berto have had.
yep.
So
I think so. He's especially since the cruiserweight title was involved. They've
yeah,
not really had a chance to kind of show what they can do since then. And as you said, this is the most they've kind of been on TV, the most exposure they've got. And I think that a lot of people starting to get behind them. I will say they have one of the best finishers in the game. I love the finisher.
yeah, 100%. Just give me 1 second. My dog is being really loud.
Go for it.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about
There you
that.
go. No, absolutely fine.
Um, so yeah, so we're in agreement with the AAA guys winning. You brought up a point,
Yeah, I
and
think so.
it's something I thought of as well. There's got to be a match where a AAA guy wins, and
Got
it's
to
got to
be.
be a match other than the next match we're going to talk about, which is the AAA Mega Championship match. Um, which is I was gonna do this last, but I have it second on my list, so we'll just get through it.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
Let's do it.
there's no way Chad Gable wins this.
No, I cannot see him winning this. I think this has potential to be easily a match of the year. It absolutely has that. Vikingo is one of the only AAA guys I do know quite a bit about and have seen. And I mean, he's ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous in the ring, but equally so is Chad Gable. And I think the two of them will put on a proper clinic. But I agree, there's no way Chad wins this year.
Yeah, it's I mean, again, like you can never say never, especially in the like the past few shocking title changes we have had. Um,
Yep.
but El Hijo just won this on what, Saturday?
Yeah, very recently. I mean, not that WWE totally gave it away or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. But you know what? We don't like Alberto Del Rio over here, so you know what? I'm okay with it. Um,
It's the feeling's mutual over here.
yeah. Um, so yeah, but like you said, this is going to be a fantastic match. I mean, I am very confused as to why this isn't El Grande Americano instead.
Yep, I agree. I thought that when they first announced this, and it looked like they, from Mania, were teasing the Vikingo El Grande kind of feud there. Was totally sold on it being El Grande versus Vikingo instead.
Yeah. Maybe that's something else they're setting up at another event, but I just feel like El Grande, if you wanted to do El Grande Americano versus Vikingo, this would have been the perfect opportunity to. Um, yeah,
Yep.
well, still Chad Gable will still be a great match. So,
Oh, it will
um,
be.
yeah.
I'm
So
very much
yeah,
looking forward to it.
yeah. So yeah, we're going with Vikingo wins that.
Yep.
Um, we'll save that one for last. Let's talk about the tag team match. Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Chick Tormenta and D- Dalys.
Dalys, I believe what they've been saying on NXT, because I this is I'm not very familiar with the two women here, Chik Tormenta or Dalys.
Yeah.
But that seems like what they've been saying on NXT. I think this should be really really good. I mean, I've been saying in many of my videos that Stephanie Vaquer has been one of the revelations of 2024 for myself. I'd heard of her, and it wasn't really until I think a lot of people were the same. It wasn't until her match with Mercedes Moné in AEW for the was it what was it now? Was it the CMLL women's? I can't quite remember now. When they had that match, and I was like, oh, I really like this presentation of Stephanie. And she's a fantastic wrestler. And the match was really, really good, but it was, it wasn't, a 7 star classic or anything like that. But it was a really, really good match. And then when she popped up on NXT, I was very, very happy. And then from there, she's just kind of grown from strength to strength, and she's became generally, I think, my favorite women's wrestler out there currently.
Yeah, no, she's definitely raised in my ranks as well very quickly. Um, yeah, I think she has the potential to be one of the best women's wrestlers in the division, or even in the world if she isn't already. Um,
Totally agree.
I do think that Stephanie and Lola are going to win here. I just don't. And see, here's the thing. So, Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank are obviously both in Los Angeles. I wonder when
Yep.
this match is going to take place on the card because Stephanie is also in the Money in the Bank ladder match that same day.
Yep. I
Um,
have a feeling the way they might do it is this could potentially be either the first or second match, and probably at Money in the Bank. I feel like they might open with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, so it gives Stephanie that time, and then also similar later on the night with the men's probably main eventing most likely with
yeah,
obviously with Chad, even though Chad isn't El Grande, but just for just to say in case he was,
yeah,
it would mean he would be able to get over there in time.
yeah. Just in case, there's a rumor that
Exactly.
they're the same person, but there hasn't been really any proof.
No, I
Um,
mean, El Grande was wearing Chelsea Green's boots on Monday. Well, it wasn't. Everyone said it was Shad's. I thought it was Chelsea's.
I saw that. It was like someone was like, whose boots were these? Wrong answers only.
I know.
Yeah, it was like, God. That's actually hilarious though.
But I'm
For
in
some reason,
agreement. No, I
Chelsea
think
Green did not
Stephanie.
come to
Oh,
mind.
sorry. Yeah, and she was the only other one I could think of straight away that I seen the C and the G. I was like,
Yeah,
Chelsea Green. It's got to be. But no, I'm totally in agreement. No, I think Stephanie and Lola are going to win here. Not only just because, as you said, Stephanie, if they're really wanting to push her, which I think they will, I think they'll push her right to the top quite fast. Um, Gives her a big win, and especially being able to come back and to this a crowd that would be familiar with her. I think it'll be a nice kind of, especially if it's the opening match, will be a nice kind of open welcome match to the crowd and to the event.
yeah. I also think like Chik Tormenta and Dalys have been wrestling for a long time, from what I've heard. I think they're like in their
Oh, really? Okay.
40s.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
So
I
it'll be
I
quite a
had no
good.
idea until recently.
Okay, interesting. No, I mean, I'm really excited to see him. I said, I have heard of Chik Tormenta. I've heard of it. I've not heard of Dalys. I've heard of Chik Tormenta. But it'll be really good to get that exposure to just see them because I've never been able to see what they can do in the ring. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited to be able to see that and just experience these new wrestlers.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can't tell you if I don't think I have ever watched a AAA show or match. And if I did, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think most of the exposure I've had to AAA, unfortunately, has been through other companies, to likes of AEW, because I was not
Yeah.
the Lucha Bros for a while. They were the AAA Mega Champions, or Tag Team Champions, sorry, I believe, and they were defending them on AEW.
Yeah.
I think that's the real only exposure I've had, but I've not specifically been able to watch a AAA show, especially over here. It's quite difficult to get hold of some of the more kind of sparse independents to try and watch them.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, for anybody wondering where this is going to be broadcasted, it's going to be on YouTube in English and Spanish. If the Kayfabe Central is the place where you get your information, which is Might be concerning, but we're here for you. um,
We love it. It's fine.
yeah. So we have another six-man tag team match. The Latino World Order, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde versus Octagon Junior, Aero Star, and Mister Iguana.
So now this is the one, isn't it? Where now who's he replaced? Is it Lindsay Dorado has replaced? Who is it? I'm trying to remember. Is it Cruz? I know it was Joaquin Wilde. I've just had to quickly look it up.
Oh,
So it was on, yeah, on Speed, WWE Speed on God Monday maybe.
yeah. I did
Um,
hear he got hurt.
uh,
Is he not cleared?
no, it's the Lindsay that's going to be replacing him now. He's not been cleared to be in the match.
Oh wow.
Which I think is obviously, I feel really bad for Joaquin and wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but I'm quite happy for Lindsay because he's recently became an NXT trainer, I believe. I think it was the start of the year. He trains. He's one of the coaches at the Performance Center.
Oh, does he? I was gonna say like is like I don't I thought is he may have been a AAA guy or like I had no idea he was a trainer over there.
Yeah, I know he was a trainer. I'd held it at the start of the sort of turn of the year. But I don't know what connection he could well be. As you said, he could well be a AAA guy from way back when. So I'm not too sure how much of a connection he's got there. But yeah, he's been brought in to replace Joaquin in this match.
Yeah. Um I'm gonna keep my prediction. So I am going to go with the AAA guys to win this match. Um
Oh, okay.
in my opinion, the LWO are exactly the types of wrestlers I could see losing this match just so they can put over some AAA guys. Like this will be a fantastic match. It does suck that Joaquin can't compete, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Um, but it'll still be a great. Like Dragon Lee is great. Cruz del Toro is great. Um, I don't know anything about the AAA guys here either. From what I've heard, Mister Iguana is like a comedy gimmick. Um,
I thought that on NXT because I'm the same. I don't know much about any of the AAA guys, but it was on NXT we had the wee iguana puppet, which I was sitting marking out to. I thought it was great.
yeah. So yeah, but apparently he can still do some pretty cool stuff in the ring. So yeah, I'm going with the AAA guys to win this.
Okay, I'll go something different and I'll go for the WWE guys here. Switch it up a bit simply because I do totally agree with what you're saying on the fact that if the LW are probably a team that could definitely take a pin here from the AAA guys. But I'm going to go with WWE guys getting the win here and with Dragon Lee probably getting the pin because Dragon Lee's in quite a weird position because I don't quite know what WWE wants to do with him and I don't think they quite know either. Because
Yeah.
on the one hand, the commentators keep pushing the fact that he's Dragon Lee's been touted as the future of Lucha Libre by Rey Mysterio himself. So it's a kind of weird position to take to be saying that, but then they don't really use them. So I'm gonna go with Dragon Lee here, and maybe this kickstarts something for him in AAA potentially. Maybe he can come down there and do some more matches, and also just to switch up a bit, give it a bit of diversity on the predictions here. I'll take the WWE guys here.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I'm in the same boat. I don't think WWE knows what they want to do with Dragon Lee. Um,
Yep,
it kind of seems like when they threw him in the LWO, it's like, well, we have nothing else for you, so how about you just join Rey Mysterio?
yep,
Um,
that's pretty much what they've done. I think that's
yeah,
kind of they've shown quite a few of the mass luchadors have had in the past, like Sin Cara and all that. It's just been, oh, just be the next Rey Mysterio, and it's like, no, let him be Dragon Lee.
yeah, exactly. It's like next thing you know, the Lucha Brothers are gonna be in the LWO next as well.
Oh God,
um,
this is terrifying thought. I hope not.
yeah. If Vince was still in charge, that'd be the case. Um,
Oh, it definitely would be.
so yeah. So disagreement in that one. I'm taking the AAA guys. So the last match that we have to talk about on this card is the Fatal Four-Way match for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Phoenix. So, in my opinion, there's only two people that can win this match, and that's Ethan Page or Javon Evans.
I totally agree. This was one I was kind of going back and forth on. It was obviously it'll be great to see Ray Phoenix there. Like he's just there for the representation, I think, and because he's a big name, a lot of the people there are going to know who he is. Not just from a WWE side, obviously. And same with Laredo Kid getting an exposure. And he's a bit more well known, I suppose, to I guess you could say the kind of outside of Mexico audience with him being he's also competed in TNA and stuff before. But I totally agree. I think it comes down to Javon and Ethan, and I really do want Javon at some point to pick up the championship, but I think they're going to keep it on Ethan Page here.
Yeah, 100%. I am in agreement with that. I have Ethan Page retaining. Javon is going to win that title at some point, and like it could very well be here. Like it could very well be Javon Evans just wins it
Yeah,
here, and we get the because we've constantly gotten teased about the Javon Evans and Super Sean Legacy match, so maybe that's the route
yeah.
that they go. Um, or they can just go the traditional route and go the babyface versus heel route with Sean Legacy and Ethan Page. I really thought they forgot about Sean Legacy for a couple weeks there until they brought it up on NXT.
So did yeah, so did I. I was like, is when Ethan and Ricky had the match previously. I was like, I swear Sean Legacy was meant to have a shot before at Ricky, sorry, before Ethan did. I could
Yeah.
have sworn that's what they said.
So for anybody that doesn't know how this went down and didn't hear my breakdown of this, so this started with Super Sean Legacy making a video after the battle royal to Javon Evans, be like, "Oh, we should run it back one more time." Javon is in the locker room watching this, and Ashante the Adonis overhears this and is like, "Oh, I can beat both of you." Then Ricky Saints overhears that and is like, "How about you guys just have a triple threat match?" And I am almost certain that Ricky Saints said at Battleground, "I will defend the title against one of you."
He
Um,
did, didn't he? I swear he did.
yeah, I that's what I thought. I could have sworn he did say Battleground. Um,
Yeah.
It did not end up happening at Battleground. No NXT North American title match happened at Battleground. Instead, they went with Sean Legacy winning that triple threat match because Javon Evans decided to just jump out of the ring instead of winning the number one contender match. Um, and it's still being put in a fatal four-way match for the North American title before Sean Legacy.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Um, and then yeah, we got Ethan versus Ricky, the NXT after Battleground, which is where Ethan won the title, and we're here now. So
Let's
I
go.
don't even think WWE knows what they're doing with this title scene.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the only other thing that takes me towards Ethan Page as well for this, and I agree with you, I would not be shocked if Javon did win here. Like that wouldn't be too much of a surprise. Part of the reason I think they're going with Ethan is because we've seen on NXT obviously this past week there that they seem to be trying to almost have him as this kind of guiding, almost Seth Rollins-esque character to this new Evolve group. And if again, if you I don't know if you yourself watch Evolve, I don't. I just kind of catch up in the highlights. One of the guys in that match, I can't remember who it was, just won the Evolve Men's Championship, the inaugural one the other day there. So I wonder if they're going to try and keep this narrative of this kind of young, young up and coming group in Evolve are going to learn under the tutelage of Ethan Page, and then have Ethan Page able to show off like how to be a champion, how to carry yourself. And also, like said down the line, he most likely lose it to either Javon or Sean Legacy or whoever. But I wonder if that's why, because I thought honestly that Ethan was a shoo-in to go straight to the main roster after Mania there, but obviously they're not done that. And they've kept this, though, they put the NXT North American Championship on him, so he also looks like he's going to be staying in NXT for a wee bit longer.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't finish watching Evolve, but yeah, it was Jackson Drake that won the Evolve championship.
Yep.
Um yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you on Ethan though. I think that they're doing a great job with him. I will give them that. They're really pushing him
Yep.
as the, you know, piece of shit heel, and which he is.
Oh, yeah. And he's
Uh,
fantastic at it.
yeah.
Exactly. He's so good at it.
So yeah, that's all we have, I believe, for Worlds Collide.
I
Um,
believe so. And as you've said the other day, I wouldn't put it past WWE to put something else on the card last minute.
yeah, 100%. Uh, so let's move on to Money in the Bank here. Uh, we can start with the Women's Intercontinental Championship match: Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. So WWE does this thing, and I kind of knew that they were going to go this route, but it's like tradition in WWE that the challenger can never win the title on the first try. It's always the second match that they win
Yep.
the title. And I think that's exactly going to be the case here. I think Becky Lynch is going to win the title here from Lyra.
Yeah. I am totally in agreement with that. I originally, maybe as you pointed out there, I kind of forgot about WWE's kind of method of having, never having them win the title straight away. Was I did have Becky to win at Backlash, I believe.
Yep.
Um, and because I thought it would be a case of like, not that I don't think anyone's really getting tired of Lyra. I think I'm more than I love Lyra Kira on TV, but I feel like they wanted to kind of inject a little fire into her, and putting Becky Lynch into this feud has definitely done that. She's a lot more, not just believable, but a lot more hard hitting on the mic, and in the ring she looks a lot more vicious. But I agree. I think they'll put on a great match. The one at Backlash was quite potentially match of the night for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They'll put on a great match, but I think Becky's going to win here. As you said, and they might do a rematch down the road. But from what I've kind of heard, it sounds like they're setting up for the return of Bayley. Obviously, Becky, it was kind of revealed that took out Bayley before Mania. And I think with SummerSlam coming up, and this is the first double SummerSlam, I believe, or is that next year? Am I getting this wrong?
No, yeah, that's
Um,
this year.
is that this year? Yeah. So to sort of maybe sell this first mega SummerSlam, I think you want to have a big match on the card, even for the mid card championship, and to have Becky and Bayley at SummerSlam, I think could be the route that they're going to go down.
I think this is where Bayley returns. I think she'll return at Money in the Bank. Um
Yeah.
and yeah, like you said, Lyra is, it's not so much that like you're getting tired of it. I think she's held that title long enough.
Yeah.
And maybe move her somewhere else, maybe like into the tag division, or have her pick some singles wins, whatever the case may be. Um, so yeah, I think that I also did have Becky winning at Backlash. I thought that they should have just gotten to the point and had Becky win there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see a world where Lyra retains here.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think as well, and I think a lot of people would agree on the fact that the chase for the championship is so much more entertaining than watching them retain it. So even, down the line, if I do think they're going to go Becky and Bayley, but even if they wanted to keep Lyra in and around the Intercontinental Championship picture and have her going after Becky, I think that's a lot more entertaining of a story than it is her just trying to retain it time after time.
Yeah, 100%. Um, so next we have John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. I still don't know how I feel about this match, in terms of it like actually being a match.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess that's one way to get these names on the card without them defending the titles. Um,
Yeah, it's a strange formula for Money in the Bank. It's not the last couple Money in the Banks. I believe the world champions been in tag team matches. From what I can remember,
yeah,
it's almost as if they they just want to put the focus on the Money in the Bank matches, and they're just kind of trying to throw away what they can. But I think what makes this one maybe sting a little bit more is the fact that obviously with it being John Cena's final run, there's a date for kind of a throwaway match, which I don't think a lot of people particularly want to see.
Yeah. Um, yeah, 100%. I don't know if you're in agreement with this, but I am not liking John Cena's heel run. It feels very
I
underwhelming to me.
totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. The heel turn itself was generational,
Yeah.
but since then the run has been really, really lackluster. And I kind of could get by a little bit at the start. I was like, okay, slow build and everything. But it's kind of getting to the point now where it's like, give us something. Like, this is just the same formula every time. And it's really dull and just frankly quite sad to see when this is John Cena's run. We've been asking for this heel run for so long. And it's like, I don't even think John Cena himself, I think, has been phenomenal in the character he's trying to portray. It's just the writing and the scripting of the matches that's been dreadful.
Yeah. And like I get the whole I want to ruin wrestling gimmick thing, but I John Cena and Logan Paul as a tag team is not something I had on my bingo card for this year.
No, same, especially not for the final. Exactly, not for the final run. I wouldn't have had that on the card. I mean, yeah, it will be cool to see Cody back. And Jay will get also the crowd hyped as he always does. But I'm in agreement. I'm not that fussed or that happy about seeing this match.
Yeah. That being said though, I am taking Cena and Paul to win this match. I think that Gunther's gonna get
Ooh.
involved and cost Jey Uso. Um,
Oh,
so
yeah,
yeah.
you might have thrown a spanner on the works there for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think. Yeah, I didn't think about going for yeah because I'm actually not opposite. I was going to take Cody and Jay. Obviously to pin Logan. They're not pinning Cena, but I completely forgot because it's the next night on Raw, isn't it? That Jay's
Yeah.
got going for.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
I, I'll be a man of my. I'll stick to my prediction and go with Cody and Jay. But you have a very good point there about going for getting involved.
yeah, I think that it's gonna be this typical like Cena match. There's gonna be some sort of ref shenanigans potentially, and then Gunther comes out, distracts Jay. I don't know who takes the pin. I don't know if Jay takes the pin or Cody would take the pin.
I think in that.
I would
I
think
think
Jay.
yeah, I was thinking it's a weird one because on the stature of the WWE ladder, if you want to imagine it, I would have Cody above Jay. However, I also wouldn't put it past Cody to say that he would take the pin to try and keep Jay looking a bit stronger there.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
But
Um,
it's a hard one. I think that could be literally either or at that point.
yeah, 100%. It could be a case where Jay gets attacked outside and it distracts Cody, and then that allows either Cena or Logan to pick up the pin on Cody.
Yeah, on Cody. Yeah, definitely. The one thing actually with the Cena, to go back to the Cena's run, I am hating is the end to all the matches. Not only all the shenanigans that kind of goes on, but just winning every match by hitting the opponent with the title belt.
Yeah,
It's cool for a one-off match or whatever, but it's really starting to get annoying.
it's like we've seen superstars get hit with a title belt consistently and like get up five
Exactly.
minutes after, and
Exactly. It's
it's
almost like
like
insulting to the intelligence. It's like we know he's not
yeah,
actually dead.
like if like maybe hit him
Yeah,
with the belt and then deliver an AA onto the belt after, that'd be more believable.
agreed. Absolutely. I have no issue with if they're going to go down the route of using the belt. Okay, fine. I don't have an issue with that. The issue is, as we said, using it to pin the opponent, especially when that opponent is Cody Rhodes, at
Yeah,
the time of at Mania, one of the most protected guys in the company. Um, and it was just the one title shot, wasn't it, that he hit him with, and he pinned him.
yeah, yeah.
So
That
it's
was
yeah.
Yeah. but yeah, I am going with Cena and Logan to win. So we have a timer on this Zoom thing right now.
Oh, do
I
we?
don't know if you noticed it. So I will have to like end the meeting and like create another one.
Yep, that's
Um,
fine.
yeah.
That's absolutely
So
fine.
I'll stop this recording and then I had to do this with the interview that I did with Holden. So yeah. All right, we are back. That part will probably be cut out anyway, and do my editing magic there. Um, so yeah, we were talking about Cena and Logan. I don't really have anything else to say about this match, other than I think Gunter is going to interfere. And
Yeah, I'm saying. Oh, right, illegal.
no worries. There is the possibility that we get Travis Scott as well.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot he even
yeah.
existed.
My reaction as well.
Yeah,
Um, and he's just gonna take like 10 minutes to get down to the ring. So
that was
yeah, there's that
ridiculous.
possibility as well. Um, we know for sure that The Rock wouldn't show up though. Uh, we know
No,
that.
no. Oh, he wouldn't want to. Do you think there's the possibility of a Travis Cody match down the line? Apparently, has Travis has been training.
I did hear about that. I don't know if that's I. It is very possible because we have what's next. We have Night of Champions next, and then well, it obviously wouldn't happen
Yeah,
in Evolution. So yeah, it could happen in Night of Champions if anything.
yeah. Either that, or they go down the route again. Once again, another tag match, but they have Travis with probably Logan, teaming up against Cody and someone whoever else there's available. But I mean, it's not something I want to see.
Yeah,
It's just like wouldn't put it past WWE, especially with the success that Bad Bunny had. Like he was fantastic for to do for a celeb match. I can imagine they want to try and maybe recreate that with Travis, but I just don't think he would have that in him to be able to do it.
yeah. Bad Bunny was actually somebody I did have in mind, but I think there's more likelihood in Bad Bunny showing up at Worlds Collide than one of these shows.
That would make sense, to get a kind of big celebrity involvement that people are definitely going to know. Um, that would make sense to have him appear there. I didn't even think about him potentially, even when I mentioned the tag match, could have Cody and Bad Bunny. But yeah, I'm in agreement with you there. It's more likely for him to be at the Worlds Collide event if he's going to be anywhere.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it is still possible to go with like Cody and Bad Bunny versus Logan and
Yeah,
Travis Scott, which is not the biggest fan of that match
just
idea, but like you said, I wouldn't put it past WWE.
yeah, same. It's not something I want to see, but I can totally see them doing it at the same time.
Yeah. Um, so let's talk about the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Alexa Bliss, Julia, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, and Stephanie Vaquer. Now, half of this match like just got called up to the main roster.
Yeah, which is mental in its own right, just straight off the bat.
Yeah. Um, you can go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say it's a funny one, the women's match, because literally anyone could win it, and I think I would be okay with it. Now, the one I probably want to win the least is Rhea, because Rhea doesn't need it. Rhea Ripley herself is a walking Money in the Bank contract.
Yeah.
Like she could just walk into Adam Pearce's office and just be demand a match, and she'll get it. Um, so probably Rhea I would have as my least favorite, but honestly, I would be happy with any of the women in this match taking it.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with that. I think anybody can in this match can benefit from it. I honestly
Yep.
am going to say that Rhea is the most likely to win this match.
Oh,
I
really? Okay.
I think that they could just go the easy route and Rhea wins. The other option I have is it's either Rhea or Stephanie Vaquer for me.
Okay.
I think if Rhea wins, which in my opinion is the most likely option, she can have a thing where um I don't think they'd do that match at Night of Champions. Like I'd assume she goes after Io if she wins.
Yeah,
And that's a match
yeah,
I'd
well,
see
most
like
likely
I'd see that they do at SummerSlam instead of Night of Champions. So it could just be a case
something
where
something that big. I think so. Yeah,
yeah, where Rhea wins it and then like the next night on Raw, she's just like, Io, I'm gonna cash this in on you at SummerSlam.
I agree. See, if Rio was to win that, I don't see it being a an opportunistic cash in. I think she would announce it way ahead of
Yeah.
time.
And yeah, I think it would be a bad idea to turn Rhea heel because even as a heel,
Yeah.
she'd still get cheered.
Oh, definitely. The level that she's at, it's kind of I'm trying to think similar to, but I totally agree. I totally agree. I think it would make sense. She's surely out of at least the women's roster, probably one of the biggest merch sellers in general as well. So I don't think it would make sense for Rhea to turn heel. And as you said, she's kind of gone beyond that point of being a good guy or a bad guy. Like she's just always going to be loved because it's Rhea Ripley. Like you're going to struggle to boo her.
Yeah, 100%. I don't I don't think at all that Naomi would win it. Um, it's possible, but I don't see a case where they'll go that route at all. I
Okay.
Alexa Bliss is possible, but they might have a thing with like her and Nikki Cross in the future or something. So
Yeah.
I don't really think that they'll go with her. Um, and you could go with Roxanne. You could go with Roxanne
Yeah.
Perez, but she has her things with the Judgment Day. I don't know if she's gonna like end up having a match with Liv Morgan or end up completely joining the Judgment Day. So she's busy with that stuff. Julia is definitely a major contender, but I don't think they've done enough with her to really sell me on like other than her NXT stuff. Um, in terms of her on the main roster, I don't think like I've really been sold on her winning this Money in the Bank.
No, and I think as well with Julia, they've already sort of teased the route she's going to go, and it looks like she's quite potentially going after Zelina Vega in the
Yeah.
US Championship.
That was the next point I was gonna bring up. Like I think that's her next route. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think her versus Selena will be great. So yeah, in my opinion, it's down to Rhea and Stephanie, and I am leaning a little more towards Rhea.
Okay. No, that's cool. It's really interesting. I'm actually quite glad you said what you said as well, because adds a wee bit of a of difference in the conversation here. Because I actually think Naomi will do it. The person who you don't think, and I don't think Rhea will do it. So I'm quite glad you've went that route. I'll come back around to it. So I kind of agree. I agree with what we said about Alexa. As much would be interesting to see. We've also seen her with the Money in the Bank briefcase before. Um, but I do think it looks like now that the White Six are back, they're going to go down that route. And he said there could be something further down the line, her and Nikki, whoever they want to go for. There's also what potentially this looks like maybe a Alexa Charlotte either feud or partnership. I can't
Yeah,
quite tell what route they're going to go. Um, I'm with it, but I agree. Roxanne Perez, I agree. It would be interesting, I think, to see Roxanne kind of in the clubhouse, in the Johnny clubhouse with the briefcase. But I don't think it's enough to justify having her win here on the roster. And I said we spoke about Julia. I totally agree. So for me, it comes down to Naomi and Stephanie. And again, like you, Stephanie's my second. I would be quite happy for them to put it on her and just push her. And if they did, I think potentially she challenges Io ahead of time for Evolution. I would run back Io Stephanie.
100.
Um,
Oh yeah,
because
I
I think that could quite
Evolution
easily,
keeps slipping my
yeah,
mind.
it could quite easily be the main event.
Yeah, Evolution keeps
It
slipping
was
my
such a good match, and we got it for.
um
Yeah, it's because I mean it's so soon, isn't it? And it's like as I was saying, it's we only got what 15 minutes of it on the Raw after Mania. Imagine if they were able to go 20, 30 minutes, the two of them. it would be nuts.
Yeah. Um yeah, I keep forgetting about like maybe if Rhea wins, that's where the EO match happens. Because maybe they
But
want
they
something
could
big
do
in
it because I
there.
mean I think so because I don't really know who who EO's next challenger could be. If it's to be anyone, if for example, if it wasn't Rhea, it'll be Liv maybe. But I don't. There's no one else really there who's at least in that caliber at the minute to step up. So if they had Stephanie kind of take that place, I think that works on the Raw side. But yeah, no, I mean I'm desperate to see Stephanie and Io go again. I thought that match after Mania was so good.
Yeah.
Um, but for me, yeah, I'm gonna go the opposite route. I'm gonna go with Naomi more so because I think for Mania next year, they are could potentially be building to once again another favorite Triple H triple threat match, but doing it with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. And I could now obviously it could not go this way, but potentially have Naomi win here. She cashes in on Tiffy or whoever, most likely probably Tiffy or whoever's got the belt at the time. She
Yeah.
goes in as champion, and then Jade or Bianca, probably maybe Jade could win the Rumble, and then down like it's quite a similar story, I guess, to what was told this year of trying to kind of force in that triple threat. But I think I can see them looking at it as a money match that they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. I literally the only note I had was Naomi is not winning this. Um, so that is interesting that you went with Naomi. It is very possible that Naomi could win. I just don't see like even if she was to win and then win the title, I don't see her having a long reign with that title.
Yep.
I could see her like quickly dropping it to someone like Jade, which by the way, they could have had Jade Cargill in this match.
They absolutely could have, and they didn't.
Yeah. I don't know who she could have replaced, but they could have definitely
Well,
had her in this match.
yeah, that's the thing, and I will give them the kind of props for this Women's Money in the Bank match. It really could go to anyone. Like as much as we can question the build to other matches and how quick it's been because it's just been one after another. The women's one, the actual participants that they've got in the match, I think have been a really, really good selection. Because it could literally be any of them, and as you said, you could interject people in and or take people in, take people out, and it would still be really you wouldn't know exactly who's going to win it. And I think that's kind of the beauty of what they've done. And as you said, it could well not be Naomi. It could have been Jade. And I also do agree with you on the set that if Naomi is to win it, I don't think she would cash it into way down the line, probably closer to maybe Rumble Mania season.
Yeah. Another reason I am going with Rhea is because WWE loves their merch sales, and I think that uh like Mommy in the Bank merch would go insane. Um,
Yes, it def. I didn't even think about that. Yes, it would.
so they could go that route, or if they just want to go like the cool new route, then I think Stephanie's the option.
I think Stephanie is the. I was going to call it the safer option. I think Rhea's probably overall the safe option. But I think what you said earlier, Stephanie is the still a safe option, but it's a. I don't think anyone would be upset if Stephanie won it. I think that's probably the answer to that.
100%. Um, so now we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Andrade, LA Knight, Penta, Solo Sikoa, El Grande Americano, and the winner of this match, Seth Rollins.
I love it. Yeah, Seth. Speaking of the safe route, was the one I was thinking for this because you could quite easily put it on Seth and you know you'll be fine.
Yeah. Um,
No,
I think that's the route that they're gonna
I
go.
think they really throw a spanner on, and yeah, down with Seth. Yeah, so Seth is my. I'm not going to go with Seth, but he's my second choice. For it. I think they did throw a bit of a span on the works by adding El Grande. I think it is just a bit of a red herring to get you to think. Obviously, there's all been all these reports recently of Triple H doesn't like the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
Um, I can also kind of see it. It must be really annoying to book sometimes, but I've just seen so many people in many reports online talking about potential of El Grande winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, and obviously Chad Gable loses it to Vikingo, and El Grande cashes in to beat Vikingo for the AAA Mega Championship, which I think would be one of the most insulting things that they could do to
Yeah.
this new company that on like the first weekend of launching, pretty much.
I I didn't even think of that, but I would not want to see that. Uh,
No,
I'd
I
much
would not at
rather,
all.
yeah, I'd much rather Seth Rollins win and just cash in on Jey Uso. Um,
Yeah,
I don't think that this. I'm in agreement with you. I think this goes on last. Um,
yeah,
if it doesn't and they go with the tag match going on last, I don't know if Seth cashes in, but he could just show up ringside because
yeah.
both
That would
champions
make
are
sense.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense, especially to close the show. You could have, especially as you said, if or did you say something? You could have them either side of the mat of the ring, Jay on one side, Cody on one side, Seth staring them down. I can kind of picture it already how it would look.
Yeah, there. I can see a lot of
No.
people being ringside for that tag match.
Oh, I definitely, I definitely think so, and it kind of fits. You can imagine it with the gimmick, obviously. Seth in the middle, he's got Heyman carrying his the briefcase, and then you've got Braun and Bronson on either side of him. Like it looks, the image looks like I can imagine WWE want it to look.
Yeah, if they go with the tag match going on last, they could have like Travis Scott come out do his thing, and then cause a distraction. They have Gunther come out attack Jay, and then maybe that's when Seth comes out, but then Sammy or Punk makes the save, and I honestly think if Seth wins, that's going to be the theme for multiple weeks where Seth tries to cash in, but then there's either Punk or Sammy to make the save.
Yeah, I can see that being the case. Quite similar, I guess, to the what was it, the Damien Priest run with the briefcase. Sorry, always gets the failed cash in until eventually it comes from and he gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
no, that would make sense.
I'm really surprised that they put Andrade in this match. I'm happy for Andrade, but I
Oh,
really thought that they were gonna go with Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo was my see even at the start of the year. To be honest with you, if you would ask me way back in like January, February time, who do I think's going to win Money in the Bank, I probably would have went with Carmelo. It
Yeah.
was him or Braun, where it really came down for me. And I was really surprised when they didn't. As you said, I'm happy for Andrade, and I'm sure he's in the match probably to do some mental spot, probably with Penta. Um, I can see that happening. But if you quite similar to what you said about the Naomi one, if there's someone who I do not see winning this match, it's definitely Andrade, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. Um I also think LA Knight's time to win Money in the Bank was like 2 years ago. Um
Totally agree with Ellie there. It was something they should have capitalized on back then,
yeah.
when he was at the height, and he still is over as anything, which is interesting. That's actually not part of the reason, because Seth, as we said, is a safe option. Um, but I like being a bit different, a bit out there, a bit weird. So I'm actually going to take LA Knight here to win.
Oh wow.
And I know I've thrown it out there, and I totally agree. I think they missed the opportunity 2 years ago with him, and it should have been then. The only reason I'm taking him was just to be a bit different, because I do think I would not be surprised, as you've predicted, if Seth Rollins wins here. I would not be surprised one bit. Um, I don't think they're going to do what I said about El Grande. I really hope they don't. Um, that because that'd be horrendous if they
Yeah.
did. But Ellie Knight I'm going to take, because out of everyone else in the match, he's the only one that I can see there. that's not Seth Rollins going on to do something with the world title picture at the minute anyway. Now Penta's one of my boys, absolutely love him, but I don't foresee him winning it. I've sort of heard that it sounds like they want to get the Lucha Bros back together kind of sooner rather than later in WWE. So I think that's potentially the route, like further down the road that they'll go down. As we spoke about, Andrade will be in the match to do some crazy spot and he'll look amazing. Solo's quite a weird one to be in the match, in all honesty. I did hear someone saying it would be interesting to see the continuation of the Solo Jacob feud with the Money in the Bank, but I don't really see that. Like we obviously had Theory, well, I think it was Theory anyway, cash in the Money in the Bank for the United States Championship, but I don't foresee that or particularly like the thought of that for that being Solo and Jacob.
Yeah, that was literally a thought that just came to mind of Solo potentially winning and cashing in on Jacob. Um,
Yep.
I actually think for me the wild card in this match is Penta.
Okay.
I they really seem to like Penta, and the crowd seems to like him. Part of me wouldn't be surprised if they did go with Penta to win this.
I agree. I think Penta's probably, if we take the ridiculousness of El Grande out of it, Penta's probably my third choice. As you said, I'd be a bit surprised, but I wouldn't be totally shocked if they were
Yeah,
to go with Penta. I mean, as you correctly said, like, I mean, look at the reactions he gets. He's well loved. He's one of the surely he's got to be one of the top merchandise sellers in the company. Um, so I wouldn't be surprised with it to be Penta. It's just I heard that they were wanting to do the team again, the Lucha Bros with him and Fénix. It does mean because also we've got the draft, I believe, coming up over the summer at some point.
yeah.
But
I
they
that's
tend to
one
do
thing
it
I've
around
talked
here.
about consistently. I don't know if they're even going to do a draft.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I because we haven't heard anything of how like Triple H feels about a draft because usually the
Yeah.
drafts would have happened by now. So
Yeah, they tend to be just after Mania, don't they?
yeah, so I don't know if like they're just gonna do this constant thing where someone just gets moved to SmackDown or like they keep doing these little videos like, oh, we just signed this person to Raw or SmackDown or look who's on NXT.
Yeah, to see who could come up. Yeah, I really don't know because that's really the only way they're going to do it with obviously Phoenix being on SmackDown and Penta on Raw. But yeah, no, Penta I would not be surprised about if they were to go with. But I am going to go LA Knight. But I think there's a lot of caveats that come with going with LA Knight. I think there's a lot of work to be done within the championship picture himself, like itself,
Yeah.
if he's to cash in, because I don't know even know which one to go for. Because if you were to go down the WWE Championship route, does he cash in on Cena? I have seen folks saying that he could, and particularly it would be kind of mental. I've seen someone mentioning about him cashing in actually on the same night because it's in LA on Cena. I don't think that happens, but that would be pretty mental if it did. Um, but to get down the further down the line, eventually Cena's gonna have to drop it, and I don't see them turning LA Knight heel. I think that'd be a really dumb decision to do.
Yeah.
Um, so I think they need to, whoever also beats Cena, it's going to be a major baby face, but then they would need to then get that belt back off of whoever wins it from Cena onto someone for LA Knight to then cash in on. So he could potentially be holding on to the briefcase for an entire year almost, just for them to do that. The only other option I see is maybe quite kind of going back to what you were talking about earlier with the World Heavyweight Championship, whether it's either Gunther or if it's Seth, and having LA cash in on one of them two.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point.
That that's really the only way I can see them doing it. Otherwise, it's going to be a wee bit of a mess, and then that kind of falls back to what the prediction you've gone with Seth Rollins probably being the safer bet. But I just felt it being a bit different.
I think if LA Knight wins, I can see WWE taking the Dolph Ziggler route with him, where we go months of okay, is he gonna cash in yet? Like we
Yeah,
expect him to cash in, he doesn't show up. and then just out of nowhere the cash in happens, like you said, like a year later. Um,
Yeah, I think so. I think when it comes down to the cash in, it's either going to be same night or we're talking a year from now. I don't think there's any in between with the men's Money in the Bank if it is early night.
yeah, no, 100%. Which is why I think that they're just going to go with Seth.
Yeah, it
Plus
makes sense.
it Seth has won it. Was is it once? Yeah, once. He's won it
Yeah,
once. Yeah.
just the ones 2014. Yeah,
So yeah, my math was just completely off. So he could win it, and it's something to rub in CM Punk's face. Like, oh, Punk's not the only two-time winner anymore.
that's actually a very good point. No, true, true. Because Punk actually brought that up then on Monday Night Raw to say that he's a two-time Money in the Bank holder and successful cashing with it.
Yeah. So that's something Seth could just rub in his face. Be like, I took that away from Punk too.
Yeah, exactly. Always try to get that one up. I think Seth definitely is the outright. I mean, I've not had a look at what the odds are. I would assume he's probably the favorite to win the match at
Yeah,
the minute.
100%.
Yeah, I think he's definitely fair. He's definitely the safe bet. But my second and on that, but I'm going to put him as my prediction would be LA Knight. It'd be something a bit different, something a bit interesting. I think is I do agree with the. I think a lot of people would. It should have been 2 years ago with LA Knight, but I guess just the timing wasn't right with the whole Roman story with Cody, which is unfortunate. But I mean, LA Knight's still super over. He still gets one of the loudest pops of the night whenever he comes out. So I reckon if he was to win either the WWE or the World Heavyweight Championship, I think he'd continue to get those loud reactions, and everyone would be still popping for him.
Yeah. I think it's kind of criminal that Ray Phoenix is not in this match.
I thought that as well, and I wonder if that's why they've added him to the AAA card, not just for the representation for SmackDown and the fact that he's a household name that they'll know, but I thought that as well. I thought he would definitely be in it. Quite similar to Aleister Black, actually. I thought he was going to be in the match. I thought they were going to do like a last chance kind of triple threat
Yeah.
and have him in it, but apparently not.
Yeah, they don't seem to do the last chance thing anymore.
No, they don't. 'Cause I also thought that about the women's with Chelsea. I thought they were going to do it and have Chelsea be in the match, but obviously not.
Yeah. Um yeah, they seem to not like that idea anymore. And I think that was a Vince thing. I don't think Triple H has ever done that since he's been in control.
Okay, so you're just trying to weed it out a bit. It is an interesting call actually seeing all the reports over the last 2 weeks about Triple H not liking Money in the Bank, and you can
Yeah.
kind of see it. Like you look at last year's one with Drew, and the fact that I didn't actually know this as well or at the time that also Triple H he's never even been in one of the matches. He's never been cashed in on. He's never been anywhere near the Money in the Bank.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's basically stayed away from it entirely. He himself's never been cashed in on. He's never been in the match. He's also never held the briefcase then. So it kind of all matches up a little bit like a weird jigsaw.
Yeah. I personally love the Money in the Bank concept.
Oh, I
Um
love it. Yeah.
and we also don't know what he doesn't like about it. Like, does he just not like someone carrying around a briefcase? Does like we don't he didn't specify, I don't think, what he didn't like about it.
No.
Um
No, he didn't. No, I think the only part that I can kind of understand, and it's really, really minimal, is it must be a bit of a pain to try and book it when you have like a long-term story plan like Roman and Cody.
yeah.
But then that's the argument of why they have the second world title. And they're like, right now, I was saying about LA Knight, I think if he is to go for one, I think it would be the World Heavyweight Championship because I don't foresee where he would fit into John Cena's story. Which, if the WWE Championship was the only World Championship on the cards, then I can see that being a major issue. Being like, how the hell do we book this? But with the World Heavyweight Championship, surely that opens that door a little bit more for them to be able to go, okay, we can go down this route and see how it works. And they did that with Damien Priest and it worked quite well for at the time. I think Damien came out of it. A lot of people got a kind of newfound respect and love for him.
Yeah. I think if LA Knight wins this, the chances go higher of Gunther beating Jey Uso on Raw.
Yep, I think so as well.
Um, but yeah, I do you have any other thoughts or opinions on the pay per view as a whole?
I mean, like you said, I've really enjoyed Money in the Bank. It's always a fun night. The matches are going to be mental, both women's and men's. The Becky Lyra match, if they repeat what they did at Backlash, could actually even be better than either of the two Money in the Bank matches. And then, yeah, Cody, Cena, Jane, Logan, I couldn't care less about. But hey, it's Cody's return. He'll get the crowd popped, and as will Jay, because everyone will be there eating their heads off, going mental. So
Yeah.
I don't care about the match at all. I'm kind of wish they weren't doing it, but I'm sure it'll be fun. But I'm very much looking forward to the rest of them and the Triple A card. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah. Um, the only other thing I have to say is the thing I say about every WWE, PLE, or pay per view now is stop doing these long ass pre shows for no reason.
Oh
There
my God,
is no
yes.
reason for us to have a 2 hour pre show, especially after Worlds Collide.
Yeah, definitely. There's no point. I mean, it's to not have anything at all on the pre-show is crazy. I think the way AEW do it is perfect. Their one's it's about an hour and a half or 2 hours long, and there's at least two or three pre-show matches, and it flies by. Whereas the
Yeah.
WWE one, the one for Mania was ridiculous. 3 hours
Oh,
of pre-show with absolutely nothing on
yeah.
it. See,
What was that like
especially
was it
over
like a
here,
3 hour pre show?
it was, yeah, 3 hours for both nights, so six
Yeah.
hours of pre-show.
Yeah.
It's nuts, and especially over here, you've probably heard all of us complain about it. But I mean, the show over here doesn't start until midnight or 1 a.m. half the time. So you've got 3 hours of pre-show to sit through before even hitting there. You're already falling asleep by the time the main show starts.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like that those 2 nights of WrestleMania pre-shows were just
Or
like
they'll die off.
tiring.
Yeah,
And
it was, and as you said, it kind of it knackers you out before the main card, and you're like, I want to be all hyped and excited, which I am. It was Mania, I was happy, but you just sat for 3 hours of your life that you'll never get back just
yeah.
to people hear people talk for just repeat the same. It's not as if they talk about anything new as well. They repeat the exact same things for 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Uh but yeah, that's all I got. The WWE needs to stop doing these 2 3 hour pre-shows.
I
Um
agree.
because I'd like some time after Worlds Collide to just breathe a little bit. But I think
Exactly.
but Worlds Collide starts at 3, I believe, Eastern time.
Yeah. Free, I think,
Uh
yeah, free. I think it's 8 p.m. over here in the UK, I believe.
okay. Yeah, so I assume that Worlds Collide will go 3 to 5. And then right
Yeah.
after Worlds Collide, we have the pre-show.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how it will go.
Yeah. Um, I think I did see somebody say that the pre-show for Money in the Bank will start at like 5:30, but it's the same thing, half an hour difference.
Oh, thank you. How generous of you, WWE.
yeah. Um.
Give me half an hour of my life.
Yeah. But that's all the predictions for Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. Let us know what your predictions are. If you have any different takes on any of the matches between the two pay-per-views. I'm always open to hearing other opinions and takes, whether you agree or disagree. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, interviews that come to the channel. Subscribe to the Qualified page. Go follow Rule Wrestling on TikTok. That is your TikTok username, right?
Yep, that's it correctly.
Okay. It'll be in the description anyway. I'll put it down there. So go follow him on TikTok. He makes some awesome prediction videos and wrestling videos over there as well. So yeah, go ahead and check him out. And Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have you on for a lot more of these because this was definitely fun.
Oh man, thanks so much. Honestly, this is my first time doing anything like this, and it's actually really fun. I've really enjoyed it, and like I said, thank you again for inviting me to come on.
Yeah, of course, man. Anytime. Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to plug before?
No, just on TikTok. I will maybe down the road try and work on expanding the social media game a little bit. But again, thank you so much for having me on, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And hope you and everyone else enjoys both shows on Saturday now.
100%. Well, yeah, that's gonna do it for us, and I will see you guys on the next one, which will probably be the headlines of the week. I'll message you about it when I'm going to do that. Because I
Yeah,
still
cool.
have to
Yeah,
do the write ups on the website and all that stuff, and then I have TNA tonight, and then against all odds tomorrow. So
yeah, it'll be busy, busy, busy
yeah.
time.
But yeah, that will be the next time you guys hear from me. Um, and yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.